welcome back to the RC barn. Today we're going to keep working on Mark's Ultra Stick here on the rebuild here. I think in the previous episode I got everything covered and repaired for the most part. I still need to cover the elevator half, but that won't take very long to do. What I'm going to start with today is getting the elevator. Sorry, the screen keeps moving around. I don't feel like messing with it. Getting the elevator secured. So I've already done a little bit of pre-planning here. You can see here I added some tri-stock back here because the inherent weakness. Now this added a tremendous amount of strength here, back here, and will also give us more than the 1/8 inch side rails to glue the elevator onto. The tricky part with this one is that the elevator is on the bottom of the fuselage. So instead of going to wingtip to elevator and that, I went to the firewall up here to my corners to the back to make sure it was straight. So I just thought I'd show you here what I got going on and get you a little closer in here. And I'm going to go ahead and mix up some 30-minute epoxy and then get this set in place, and then we will double check our measurements. I also need a clamp here. So I did try to mix this epoxy up by weight. I didn't really like it, so I'm just going to keep going back to the old tried and true of just doing my lines here. There we go. Just gonna leave it. I ain't gonna touch it. So I think with that, I think I'll put this off to the side where it can rest for overnight, and then I will probably cover the elevator and the hatch, finish that stuff up. I think I'll just leave this for tomorrow or whatnot when it's dry. I don't think I can get it. No, I'm not gonna be able to get it on there. Yeah, I'm not gonna move that clamp. I'm gonna leave that clamp right there where it's at. So, all right. So I'm not sure where we're at on the video, but I think I've shown getting the elevator on. I went ahead and attached the rudder while we were the next day. So this is all set up. Looks really nice and straight. Try to show that off to you. I got a few little gaps and issues in the rudder, which I'm not surprised by because this is where old meets new up here. So what I'll do there is I'll just get some small tri-stock and cover it and glue it in there so that way it's nice and strong. It is already strong. I mean, it doesn't flex any more than what a stock thing would go. So anyways, the next step is to get the elevator reattached, getting that hinged and everything. So I'm going to go ahead and cover it. Now's the time to make any adjustments, left and right. Make sure everything's lined up what it should be. Then you have your thin CA. And all you're gonna do is drop some drops in there. Right on the hinge line there. I do the top and the bottom. Some say you don't have to. I do it. I figure, well, if you do, it won't hurt. There you go, and they're done. Should probably unplug that iron seeing as I'm done with it. Doesn't matter if you're close, it'll find the hinge, it'll wick it in. That's plenty of up travel for him, I think. Yeah. I'm not sure what this thing calls for travel. That one popped out just a little bit. Oh, we got her. Alright, I'm going to let that sit and dry for a little while. You don't have to let it dry for super long, but I'll go back over them too. So I'll bring get you in my view here. So next step's going to be that tri-stock on the tail. I think I'll just take care of that off camera. And then engine, tank, all that stuff, landing gear, and that fuselage will be done. So I'll bring you back when I got more to show you here, but we're getting close. We're going to get back on this. We're going to see how far we can get today, and then you'll be seeing this tomorrow for Wednesday's upload video. So I kind of screwed up. Oh, and I'm killing the lights over here because on the live stream there's a lot of glare with those LED lights. I think I like this a little bit better for yeah, taking videos and stuff. So I shut that one off on the live stream, and then there's one right here that I just shut off now. So you guys tell me if it's too dark or if you can't see anything. So, but we'll see how this goes for a little bit. But anyways, I kind of screwed up a little bit because I didn't put any thing in here for the push rod to come through, and the tubes are still in here. Now we know that they're right here. Now I got them inside the fuselage here, and that's where they stop. See, so we're gonna have to guess a little bit as to where these holes are gonna be at. Now we could fix it as long as I'm back behind this spar back here, but I might have to clearance this. I would rather not. I'd rather just go a little bigger with the drill bit. So what I got is an 1/8 inch drill bit. I know the rudder comes out here, and I know it's right up here at the top, just from what I remember when I closed it up. So what we're going to do is go something like this. We're going to line it up the best we can with where it was at before. And so we'll probably put a hole right here. And I'm going to go into the hold the patch right here, so we'll patch it real quick. I don't know that I've ever really went over patches a whole lot on here, so I cut it a little oversized. This is why you keep the scrap stuff laying around, okay? And then what I like to do, because you're going to have, I talk so much about fuel proofing your plane and having overlaps and stuff like this, and this is the one place where I kind of get away from that a little bit. And what I do is I cut a radius into the nose of my patch. You can leave the back square. We don't need that much. So we're going to cut some of this down. And then that way, you got more radius here. And my philosophy, as stupid as it sounds, is it's probably not going to lift because the radius, the air will hit it and go around. I mean, it makes sense to me, and I've been doing patching like that forever, and the only time I've ever had one fall off is when it's not clean of oil and I'm in a hurry. So, yeah. And it should, for the most part, just, after I drop it, it should just disappear. I don't cut the old out. I know you can't hardly see that. I don't know why there's so much glare in this camera. Yeah. So, okay. So there's that part. That's all done. And so what I'm going to do next is I'm just going to get some new clevises from Dubro up here, put them on, drill my holes for the elevator mount, get that reinstalled. Remember, that was all broke, so we had to remove it. Get some of this stuff set up. Now, I'm not setting the radio up in this thing. Mark's going to do that when he gets it back. So I'm just going to set them the best that I can. And Mark, when you get the plane back, you will have to take all the rods, the horns off of your servos, hook everything up to your radio, power it up, make sure everything's centered, and then recenter everything. Make sure everything works right. So we can also do that later if you want to. If you want me involved or whatnot. So anyways, I'll get all that done. That's pretty boring stuff. I'm not going to show all that all over again. And then from here forward, it's just a matter of final assembly. So I always start at the back. I'll get my rods ran. I'll get the horns up front, and then I'll start setting my distances here and get everything hooked up. Remember, on linkages, the farther in you go, the more throw you're going to have. So I'll probably I like to go like second hole. Mark's got a computer radio so he can dial his rates in. And then we'll get that on. I'm going to rebuild the fuel tank. I'm going to throw some new fuel line in it since I got it here. These are probably okay, but they could go for, I like to do fresh. Just makes life a little easier. We'll inspect the inside of the tank. That clunk seems fine. The tank seems fine. So we'll get all that installed, the engine. I'll bring it back when I get all of that done here in a couple hours. All right, I just thought I'd showcase this a little bit where I'm at here. I got the engine installed. Rods are all ran. Everything's nice and tight back here. That's all done. Looks pretty good on the inside. Still got to put the screws in there. Got the landing gear installed. I don't like to use steel bolts, but there's not a lot of room in there to drill for 1/4 20 nylon bolts. One thing I really wanted to show was these motor mounts. Now these come in arms. They got a strap that goes across there, 2 bolts. That way you can, guys that are in a hurry to fly, they don't have to drill their holes. And they work okay, but they leave a lot to be desired. So the one thing I've always noticed with these is it's really easy to get these things off centered and give yourself down thrust or unwanted down thrust, side thrust, stuff like that, and they're not get it centered in the hole. So I really take my time in dialing these things in as close as I possibly can. I think I'm pretty good. I do go in here and look at the gaps, up front, how far forward it is. how far back it is from the bolts and stuff. Never found a really good way to measure it, but um, they do work. They can cause problems. So if you got an airplane, you have one of these motor mounts in, and it takes off, and it has some weird tendencies like to climb or nosedive under power. Um, you know, check, make sure that this thing is square, the engine is squared in the hole. So, anyways, just wanted to cover that with you real quick. I'm going to keep moving on. Fuel things coming up next and throttle linkage. So, like I said, I'll bring it back if anything else pops up that I think is important, or when I get it all done here. Done. It's all put back together. I don't have a receiver or a battery to put in it, but Mark's more than capable of doing that on his own. It rolls. He supplied the tires here. I supplied the wheel collars. It looks pretty good. It'll need to be balancing that. So I'm going to stop this video here and get it edited up. You guys let me know if you want to see me put the wing together or not. I'm just going to throw servos at it and linkages and all that. If you want me to film it, I will. Otherwise, I'll finish that up probably tomorrow and get an initial balance on it and see what it looks like. It's probably going to be tail heavy. Trying to remember, there was weight back there before we rebuilt the tail section, so that's going to add weight back there. So it probably might lose some weight, some of the weight that was on there. I don't even think I have it anymore. But we'll have to see what that does with the balance of everything. When you do a major rebuild like that, it does change stuff. So, anyways, I want to thank everybody for watching this series and watching the video here, and so yeah, my thoughts are just gone this week, I guess. So, anyways, we'll talk to you guys later.